Okay, welcome to AI Business Hive Power Apps. Today, we're going to talk about this thing called magic hooks. What is a magic hook? A magic hook is something you can use for your website. You can use it for a blog. You can use it for an advertisement. You can use it for some way to connect to people in a more engaging way to hook them in. That's why it's called a hook. So here, what we've done is we've added our text. You can also come from an image or a website. This is a company called Rocket Mortgage. So I put their information in here. As much information as you put in here will help come up with the magic hooks. You want to see, is it positive or negative? Are you going against something, or is the problem you solved is positive? You have to decide. You can just click that button there. Then your tone. Do you want it to be fear-based? If it's negative, it probably needs to be fear-based. Otherwise, it needs to be one of these others. Do you want it to be positive, inspirational? Positive factual, positive fun. It can also be negative factual, probably not negative fun, but you can try that and just play with it. So you want to play with the different tones. You can always select one of these at a time and one of these at a time. All right. So you can also select if there's a deadline. So this one, since they were saying there's urgent, we can do a deadline. If I put the word fun, it takes that out. If I took the word factual, it'll take that out. If I take inspirational, it'll take that out. And so if it's fear-based, it's going to ask you, what is the main fear the customer may have about the product that it resolves? So we're going to keep the urgent. We're going to put a deadline on it. Now, here's some parameters you add to these hooks. Are you going to use them in ads? Maybe you want them to be shorter. Are you going to use them in conversations, or are you going to use them in a blog post? Maybe you want them to be longer. If you're going to do a webinar, you can use these for webinars. Do you want it to be very persuasive, or you want it to be slightly persuasive? In other words, you want it to be heavy sells or low sells. Creativity. Do you want it to be more creative, more engaging, or do you want it to be less creative, more factual based? So if I'm going to do factual, of course, my creativity, I probably want it to be low. If it's a price-driven hook, click on that and put the price it is. If you want to use emojis in your hook, some people do, some people don't. And then your target audience. Now, this target audience, he just put first-time home buyers. I would be more specific. First-time home buyers that are 30 years old and have 2 kids. Be as specific as possible you can in your target audience. And the more you can define this, the better these hooks are going to come out. Do you have some examples of good hooks? If you have some ads you've seen that you like in your category, type those in. Just click yes and type them in there. And then if you have recommended trigger words you want to use, instantly, lucky, money, never, secret, every time, if there's some of those words, he chose first and effortlessly. Then if there's any additional instructions, you click on that. Additional instructions may be something like, I want to make sure and mention ABC. It's something very specific you want to make sure to include. So if he wanted to be specific about including a certain loan up here, then he would click on this little section here and do that. Then you have a language, and then you click your hooks. I'm not going to click this because it's already been created, but I just want to show you what they look like. Now, when it creates hooks, it's going to tell you if it's clickable, if it's likable, and if it's available. And you can hover over and it tells you how those are. So easily access your target audience can grasp the main value proposition in the hook. So clickable, if I'm going to use it on social media, I want it to be clickable. I want it to be likable. If I'm going to use it on my website, I want it to be high scores in all of these. So this one says, lock your rate in now and save 2%. First-time home dream, use an emoji. First buyer, secure an effortless 2% savings on your mortgage today. And we can scroll down through these. There's a bunch. Act now. First home clients get lender credits worth 2%. And it's got a rocket because he's a Rocket Mortgage. And so 2% is what they focused on. That's what he gave them in. And first time as a buyer. And then he adds some additional functions here. Secure, limited time, secure by this date. And so those help you identify. Now, once you've identified the ones you like, give them scores over here on the right side. If you give the ones you like scores, next time you go in to create some more hooks, it will identify the scores that you give the previous set, and it'll make them more based on what you've already selected. So that is your magic hooks. Go in there and play with this, see how it works for you. And I think you're going to find that it's very powerful stuff if you can understand how to use these. And again, the best way to understand these things is to play with them so you can do your best. All right, my name is Lyle. If it can help you out, reach out. Otherwise, I will see you on the next training.